Well, hello there, YouTube. Welcome to kind of a breezy, what are we today? Thursday, the 15th of May. We're halfway through the month of May. Seems like it just got started. I mean, literally just got started. But it's 52, I think it was like 45 was the low last night. I didn't look to see. The little thing shows me what the record low is, record high, or recorded low, recorded high. Anyway, it's a beautiful morning. Even though it's not sunshiny, it just feels fantastic with that light little breeze going. And anyway, let's go down to work. I see little rabbits out there running along. I love it. It's like living out in nature. All right, let's get this day going. Yo, come on along. 54 degrees and cloudy here in Vanchulo land. We have made it to but we didn't even mention that it was hump day yesterday, did we?
We made it to Thursday.
It just kind of slithered by, and now it's Thursday.
Yeah.
Well, Mama,
Yes, Papa.
let's go on in there and earn our keep.
All right.
All
Like a
right.
plane.
I'll see you as the day goes on there, Mama.
All righty.
All right. See you. Bye.
I love you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
So it's very nice to go from yesterday. I went, geez, what was it? Friday. I wasn't here Monday. Friday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. No, today's Thursday. So, yeah, it was Friday and Tuesday. I literally had nothing to do. Now, I had that stuff yesterday. I had the CRF and the F3, which wasn't big jobs. But this one's a fairly big job. And this is from a really cool person up north from us, him and his family that ride Spyders. Well, actually I had three. Now he's riding a, I think it's a Goldwing with a sidecar. I always get that. I'm pretty sure it's a sidecar. I was thinking it was a trike. But anyway, getting first service. This is his wife's. I think we already serviced his daughter's. I want to say, maybe not. Seems like I did one of them already, maybe not. And yeah, I did, because I put handlebars on it, but I don't know if I did the service at that time. So his wife's going to get short reach handlebars and trailer hitch. I think we did that on that one too. So this is going to be kitted up the same way. And so yeah, that's a nice meaty job. The service and the hitch and stuff, they don't just fall on there. And then I haven't started putting the handlebars on there. I have another gentleman who's really cool. He's a I guess you could say a retired Harley and Indian rider that's gone to three wheels. It typically just get to that point. So anyway, bought a Spyder, absolutely loves it, but he changed to some short reach handlebars on his buddy Spyder, which is an older than 24. And he goes, the bars, you unbolt the clamp and the things just, they come out. And I go, yeah, this one does not do that. 24 and newer, I've already shown you guys this before. It's regular handlebars on there now. And I was warning him about the dangers of breaking that fly-by-wire thing. I want to say that was like $439 or something like that. But let's see if I can get this where you can see it. Can't really tell. But you can actually see. That'd be too hard to show. You'll see the shiny piece of plastic, and then you don't. That is what's holding the pipe and going into the fly-by-wire sensor. And then there's one just like it on the other side. So it's roughly about as thick as this pin, and then it's open. I don't understand the reasoning why. I don't know if that's to keep it clear of clutter. I've seen some older Spyders where these things got really crusty, and I've had to pull them out and blow and clean them out. I don't know the reasoning for that. And I was explaining to him how to swap those bars without breaking that. What happens is people try to slide them off and it doesn't go far enough, and you end up with the grip off the end of the bar, but the switch is doesn't have enough room to come off, and you side load that throttle grip at all, and it snaps those two little tongs that are holding it on. So I was telling him about, cutting that zip tie from that little cluster right there in the dead center of the screen. You can see that, well, you can't really see the zip tie, but you see the clip that's holding on to the end of that sharp piece of frame. But if you look underneath here, you can see the same thing. I'll probably try to put that in the dead center of the screen. Do I have it centered? Yeah, it's right there in the center. You can see that clip. And that's how I go through, as I sneak under, because there's that lip that's part of the glove box thing here that gets in the way. That's why I say that clip and zip tie is put on before any of the body work was put on, when that thing goes down the assembly line, because it is really hard to put the new zip tie back in. So I was explaining to him he's got to take that out. So you want to free the wires up. I had that one where it was pulled tight, and I had to unclip the wire over here. I'd never seen one like that before. I thought they had switched to that or something, but it was just that one. And anyway, you get, so the wires are free. Take them out of their holders, because you get new ones of these. Take them out of the holders, zip tie out of the way, and pull some slack up out of this. Just pull them, they'll come to a point and they'll kind of stop. That's all you need to go. Take the clamp off, and as you hold the switch, move the bars to the left while you're pulling the switch to the right, and let it come off easily. Then grab your new set of bars. You need to take all the stuff off the left-hand side first. That all comes off. And have the new bars handy. Slide the old bars out. Very carefully let this lay down. Grab your new bars, slide them on, and temporarily clamp them down. Or you can go ahead and clamp them, actually. But, before you start clamping, you need to have this assembly on the new set of bars. I can't physically show you guys how to do it. I think it's okay to talk about it. But anyway, he was down here. He goes, man, before I mess something up, I said, yeah, dude, it's expensive and it took a while to get. It wasn't readily available. I think there's a lot of people breaking them. But I noticed the 25s that are coming in has that same setup. I mean, there's no reason that would ever break normally. But, you side load that thing when you're taking it off. Yeah, they break. It's a rather hard plastic. I thought I saved that switch. I swear I saved that thing just to show people. She may have asked for that back, and I just threw it in her trunk or something. Or maybe I wasn't going to be here when you picked it up, because I don't want people trying to figure out what I done with parts. So I'll just put it in their trunk or something, like if they're going to pick it up on a Saturday or something like that, because I want the people to have their parts. A lot of people don't care and just throw them away, but I want to see my old parts, especially if it's something weird. Warranty didn't take care, of course, of its warranty. It goes, back to BRP or BMW, Honda, whoever, if they ask for it. And they could ask for it at any time within 90 days, and you need to be able to supply it. So, anyway, for service, bars, and the trunk, the trailer hitch, and I've already done this, adjusted her trunk. When you're adjusting these things, take the cover off first, and you can actually see. You want that thing to go down nice and smooth, and then pop up just as smooth. So I don't know if you know this or not, because it doesn't look like you can. Reach in with a 13 millimeter. Do not turn these double nuts down here. Grab this with a 13 millimeter, and if you look, the head of this thing has a 10 millimeter slot in it. It's not perfectly round. So hold this with a 10 millimeter and hold that black nut with a 13 and turn only this. Do not turn those. because it takes a very special wrench to tighten those things up again. And yeah, something like this. And I guarantee you don't have one of these laying around. It's got to be super thin. That's a 13 millimeter also, so do not turn those. And just loosen it, and even though it doesn't look like it, there's a slot. This thing's elongated, this mounting hole, and just move the ear up or down. Now, if you are having a problem with it latching, which those are factory set, this can get off, but this is factory set. At that point, you can loosen those and make an adjustment, make it longer or shorter. But I've never seen one I had to adjust the length of it. They're pretty much perfect from the factory. It's just the fitting against the plastic. You don't want it to drag against the hole, either on the top or the bottom. Oh, not even pointing at me. Yeah, you want it to kind of land in the middle of that hole, because what happens is the hole ends up catching that lip, and it makes them hard to either open or close. That's it. And with this off too, you don't have to keep reaching up and grabbing the key. You shut the thing, and I just reach in there and unlock it, and just make my adjustments until I'm happy with it. And there we go. I bet you this thing needs the newest update, because they haven't been down there since that latest update came across. So I'll flash that to it. And now the other one needs to update. And he was telling me that he's having a hard time trying to hotspot his phone because you can hotspot your phone, and the system doesn't realize that it's not a regular Wi-Fi, because your phone just acts like it's the internet or a Wi-Fi router. He says he's got a 12, I think it's a 12 Max. No, he's got a 12. I go, dude, I can do it with my 12 mini. I know you can do it. But he's having some kind of issue. It won't do it. You got to have good cell service, for one. And if your phone is in Wi-Fi, you're going to have a problem doing that. It's not going to connect to it. But if your phone can connect to the Wi-Fi, your Spyder should be able to connect to the Wi-Fi. And make sure it's idling. Don't do it in a closed garage. But let's get a service and hitch and bars put on this thing, shall we? I need to do the service now while it's still nice and warm. They've got a critter problem. And unfortunately, because I pulled this thing off, oh look, there's still some of it in there. There's all this foam all stacked up there. Look at all that fell out. And I'm like, what in the heck? And then I turn around and see the foam. But then you look inside here, and literally there's like a nest of little critters crawling around in here. They will eat these things alive. They do horrible, horrible damage. Not everything has the rodent retardant stuff. Like I say, they come out. There's always that bare part where it goes in. What does she want? It was Jeannie telling me she's leaving for the day, and our regular UPS guy must be on vacation or something. She goes, he's not here yet. They usually show up really early. He's going to have a fun time backing that in there. But anyway, yeah, rodent stuff. What I was going to say, there's always that little bit of exposed wire. And if they can find it, they'll get it. And man, you don't want that kind of CAN bus. And some of these things, unfortunately, I can't see them because it's covered up, but the ECM on this side and the TCM, transmission control module, they chew them little wires, and you're buying, if you can't repair it, you're buying a harness for these things. And you don't want any part, I mean any part of replacing a wiring harness on a Spyder. It's absolutely amazing how clean that oil comes out on the first service. If you're riding without your eco on, look at that. I mean, that's basically the same color it comes out of the comes out of the bottle. Absolutely, that knocked my gimbal all out of whack. But yeah, amazing. No eco. Don't change it before 3,000 miles. You want that oil to, you want to be in there, break the thing in. Cool bikes. Nice and reliable. You get the yahoos that go, I hear them things are really unreliable. Nope, you heard wrong. Things that people do to them can be unreliable. What do we got there? A little piece of bug. Look at them pads, are in great shape. She's not playing. That'd be Mariano Andretti. Yeah, got good pads. It's a good time when it's up in the air. As long as I didn't lock the trunk. No, I didn't. See if I can do this with a camera. I'll take my light, I'm gonna shine on the bottle, and you look. I just can't do that. Not with the camera. I'll end up, maybe there'll be enough light coming through this way. Here we are. And you look and see where the level is. And the level can be deceiving because when you're looking from the top, you got that bracket that's holding the coolant reservoir, which is, it's a pressure tank. That is where your radiator cap is. You can see that. So that tank is under pressure. That's not like the tank in your car that, you know, has a little plastic cap on there. You open that thing up and you're getting hot coolant. It's like opening up your radiator. So never do it when it's hot. And anyway, when you're looking down, it looks like it's empty. But if you shake the bike, if you see a little pink kind of flash, because the maximum coolant level is right at that bracket, and the minimum is below the bracket. So when you look underneath there, you just make sure it's up there by the bracket, regardless of whether you can see it up top. But these newer ones are a little harder to get underneath and look at them, but they were, it's all done. Ooh, other than a little build up there, the radiators are nice and clean. It's got some leaves on there. How's their belt alignment here? Oh, look at that. Look at that perfect gap on that thing. Oh, look at that. That is wonderful. So you look up and down the belt. Make sure you don't see any little rocks sticking in there. Make sure that the anti-vibration, it's a damper. It's not a tensioner. You put a tensioner on this thing, you're going to cause damage. But it's just, it rides on there with just enough touch to it that it takes the vibration that is created across the top of the belt, and the passenger can definitely feel it through the floorboards. So that was the thing. But yeah, all looks good. Rear tire should be good after. Oh yeah, it's really good. Check tire pressures and all that stuff. Got my whole checklist of stuff to go through. Always check the lugs. You'd be surprised. You can find one that's not where it's supposed to be. And I can tell when I'm backing them off. I don't measure them unless there's, I'm suspicious about, vibration or whatever. These things torqued incorrectly. You got 3 little lugs in this one little area expanding out to that tire. The worst thing is somebody hitting that thing with a air gun or a electric impact. Hand those things on. Don't ever rattle those things on. I see them on videos and I'm like, dude, you just have no idea the catastrophe you can create with that. Not to mention the damage to the wheel. Those are aluminum wheels. You don't want to be over torquing those lug holes. It deforms them, and it just creates all kinds of problems. It's the things that just make sense. If you're not comfortable on working on things, lock them power tools up somewhere. That goes with anything. If you're working on your house or anything else, you will cause more damage using them power tools. Go to a race anywhere, motorcycles, cars, whatever, and tell me how often, other than race cars using those specialty, torque specific air wrenches that they use, you don't hear anybody using power tools. You use power tools to take things apart, to speed that process up, but you never put them back together with them. I will use a power tool, not an impact, but one of those clutched ones, and I have them way under torque, and I'll use those to put, when they got like 500 case bolts going around, like the front and rear covers of a BMW. I'll use it for that. And you got to make sure, even though you're using a tool, you got to be in the sequence that they want you to do, and way under torque. So it goes, it clutches when it gets up to whatever torque. And then you go through by hand and torque those things down correctly. And you usually do them in stages. A lot of them specifically tell you to do them stages. A lot of modern stuff nowadays, you go to a specific torque, which is really light, and then you'll go through and go a certain degrees, and then go back through with an additional like 20 or 30 degrees. You need a torque wrench that shows degrees. All the digital ones, they can do it sideways, and they're just fantastic. It just does all the thinking for you. Plus, say you have 18 bolts on a cover, it'll tell you how many you've gone through. So if you mess up, you go, wait a minute, only did 17, out of 18. Which one did I miss? Yeah, you want to make sure just look at the count. You got that many, and just go with the count. Just make sure you don't miss anything. Because when you're doing the degrees and you don't know which one you missed, you're in trouble. Especially when it's one use, titanium or aluminum bolts. They're one use. They don't weigh nothing. And the one bit of, too many degrees and snap. Or it makes them weak and they can snap later. So just, like I say, follow the rules. Everything will go, it sounds complicated. That's why, but it's not. You need to have the manual that tells you specifically how to do things. These people built and engineered this thing, and you get some yahoo that goes through there and impact wrenches everything on, and then wonder why they have leaks, or they got a warped cover, or whatever damage. And a lot of things can be damaged, is like working on that little two-stroke echo blower. The easiest thing, instead of putting some rope down the cylinder, it's a two-stroke. It fires every time the piston comes to the top. So the piston, there's no valves or anything you got to mess with in there or worry about. But you ball that up there and you hand tool that thing off, and you hand tool torque the thing back on. But you rattle gun one of those things, you'll knock the crank out of phase. I've seen more watercraft and things damaged over the years with these kids. It used to be air, now everything's electric. And the first thing you'll notice, somebody that's new and doesn't know what they're doing, they got brand new high-powered impact wrenches. I have no high-powered impact wrenches. The most powerful thing I got is that little Milwaukee there, and that doesn't have a lot of power because you don't need it, and you're going to kill something or damage something using them. But the first thing they'll have, Walmart or Kmart tools, and a lot of times they'll show up with a duffel bag. They have no tools. They're old rusty tools that they got at a, what do they call them? The hawk shops, the used things. But they got brand new, Milwaukee or DeWalt or something, high-powered wrenches. I don't need that because I'm going to, like I see on YouTube, zig, 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 zing, zing, zing. Yeah. A lot of guys, I know a guy for sure that he used air tools so much that he could put motors together with them. He knew the feel of that gun. You got to remember, the air tools didn't have any kind of a clutch on them. Like these things, you can set the power. I know that this thing setting on 12 happens to be 7 to 7.5. I can just rattle on and take a torque wrench, and it's 7 to 7.5 foot-pounds. I use it on all the covers on BRPs, not the small ones, the ones that take the T30. And I know, well, this thing set at 12. That doesn't mean that's not a torque number. That's what I've learned by rigging something up and setting the torque. And I start at a really low setting. Yeah, don't put it on that. And just duck, 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 no movement. Duck, 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 no movement. Duck, duck, duck. Just keep going until it moves and go one back. And you're at that torque. And then I'll use that, zip that thing in, and see if it's at that torque. That way I know. How about that? Tech Talk Thursday. All right. Sorry to cut free on you guys there all of a sudden, but God, I had to come to Kaiser and get some blood work and making a blood pressure check, blood work, and then make an appointment for to come in and get a checkup. And so I left a little early. Didn't realize the time it was until Kelly rang down and goes, "We got to go." So off I come a running. Pouring down rain the whole way here. This is, I don't know if we're in Longview or Kelso. I think Longview. Yeah, I think it's Longview here. But anyway. Nasty rain. Looks like it's still raining. Plane coming into the Kelso airport. That's kind of cool. Little private jet. All right, off we go to the homestead. I'll get it. If I can get my keys.
My key only unlocks this one. And I don't have a button.
Well, but I have my keys in the wrong pocket, so I couldn't get to them. All right. All right. What time is it now? Good Lord, 6:30.
Yeah.
That took way longer. I thought it took quite a while to get an appointment.
No.
And it's all the way on the 29th. They wanted me in within a week. They want me doing my blood pressure daily and logging it so they can see it off of my phone. That's it. I'm not in trouble or anything.
No.
This is just a requirement for my medication and stuff.
It's just a real thing.
I'm not broke yet.
No. Not broke ever.
All right. Well, hello there, YouTube. So we decided to try to get this goodbye done outside because it's barely misting. Now the rain's picking up as soon as we get out here.
Of course.
That's they're free hats that they were giving away. It's for Indian winning the King of the Baggers thing last year. They were at the store and they had some, that was all part of that one show, or maybe it was after that.
No, I don't know. It was a weekend after.
Oh. But anyway, I was looking for a hat, and the Indian salesman up there goes, "I got 2 of these left." And because I was giving away, it's sitting out there, nobody grabs them. Nobody's in there to grab. But anyway, that's the reason for that. Nice hat. I haven't had a red hat in a while.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Anyway, the doctor got an appointment to go get another checkup, which took forever to get that appointment. It's like, they said the doctors are like locking things out.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like the doctors don't want to help anybody no more. So it's the craziest thing.
Definitely seems that way.
Anyway, it's pouring down rain. We're going to roll.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give her a thumbs up. And you guys have an amazing Friday or Saturday.
Heck yeah. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you in the morning.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.